inverted, narcissistic, and most importantly, completely pointless. Come waste an hour of your week with The Starting Block, Friday nights Australian time at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. Get in touch with us on Twitter at The Starting Block, no K at the end. Also, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or iTunes by searching for The Starting Block, all one word, or on Podbean at startingblock.podbean.com. Join the blockheads, tuning in their millions, right around the world.
You're listening to The Starting Block on TAVshow.com.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Okie dokie, roll 'em!
Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
Hey, welcome to the Starting Block for another week. Big show as always. We've got some big news. We've got dick news. We've got no Garry, nice Garry. We've got heroes. We've got douchebags. All that and much more here on the block.
Standing tall on the wings of my dream. Rise and fall on the wings of my dream. Rain and thunder, wind and haze, I'm bound for better days. My life, my dream, nothing's gonna stop me now.
Greeno here from the Starting Block. On behalf of the block, we just wanted to let you all know that we're all in this together. Well, except if you have coronavirus, then stay the fuck away. But in every other situation, we're in it together. To all of you on the front lines, those of you turning a footstool, a wok, and a pitchfork into a home gym, those of you who have given your housemates a mental breakdown because you decided lockdown was a great time to learn the keyboard and the only thing you can play after 8 weeks is chopsticks over and over and over again. And those of you who are homeschooling and are now understanding the question you used to harass your maths teacher with of, when the fuck are we ever going to need to know this in the real world, is coming back to bite you on the ass. Just remember, like a 1990s Australian sitcom, we're all in this together. The days may be long, but in times like this, you can rest assured we will be here to waste an hour of your week, Friday nights Australian time, at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. So take care, social distance, whack on a mask, and subscribe to our show on iTunes. It may not cure coronavirus, but it sure will help us with our rankings. And isn't that really the most important thing right now?
Public Radio's loss is TAVshow.com's game. You're listening to The Starting Block.
Hey, welcome to the starting block for another week. You've got myself, Greeno, and I'm joined by a man who's decided to join the most recent trend and panic by snorkels. My co-captain, Damon. How are we, sir?
Very good, Greeno. Good evening to you, boys, girls, listenership, everyone around the world, doing well, doing swimmingly.
Millions.
Blockheads, millions, the fucking lot. Yeah, there's a lot going on tonight. First up, though, straight.
It really isn't. It really isn't.
No, there isn't. No, it's just something you say, isn't it, when you're doing something?
You,
when you're
you
recording
need to
something.
pump up the show early.
Yeah.
Make it feel like people have got something to look forward to. But, you know,
It's funny. It's funny when you know there's like 3 people listening, and you're like, got a big one tonight. You know,
Big one.
it's going off.
All
Yeah.
pumped.
Yeah.
We're pumped.
In touch. So yeah, no, things are going well. We should announce straight off the bat though, we're not on D Live tonight. I don't know
No
why.
day live.
Yeah,
We're
just,
out. We're done. We're finished. Had enough.
no, nothing like that. It just didn't work.
Fair enough.
It just wouldn't
No,
connect.
that's
So
fine. Look, to be fair, we scrapped the D Live, but we got your microphone to work. So let's take that as a win.
yeah, everything's coming up Millhouse at the moment. Graham.
100%. 100%. We had the option. We were like, look, we can either not have Damo's mic or D Live.
Correct.
So we went with the mic. Like, to be fair, to open the kimono, we went with the microphone because we thought potentially might be a better call. Now, to be debated, Stefan put it in the poll, which one would we prefer, D Live or no Damo's mic?
Yeah, it's something we have to discuss afterwards only. We won't know until the show's over. Was it worth it really having a mic working? Or?
Nah. Probably not. We've also got a weird thing happening where the screen's inverted.
Oh, okay, because I was going to ask you pre-show, but then opening the kimono, obviously we didn't really have time to do pre-show because I was running late.
There was no microphone. There we go. Now it's not inverted.
Okay, yeah, because I wasn't sure because I flipped it around so it's not mirrored on my side, and I wondered, well, is it going to be mirrored on his or not? So,
Well, that's a very good question. Well, now can the listeners tell us if their view's inverted?
yeah, I think theirs is just the way it is, no matter what. It's
And once again, it's not a visual medium, this show, to be fair.
no, it's not really it's not really an audio
no,
one either. If you look at the
100%,
downloads.
No, wasting people's time. Now, look, need to get some shout outs out of the way.
Okay.
It was later on down in the rundown,
Yeah.
but we literally only have like 6 listeners, right?
Yeah, and we
And
can't be
wow.
here all night. I mean, the rundown's fucking huge. This thing you sent to
No,
me, it's a
well,
tome, Greeno. It's ridiculous.
Mate, we'll fucking fly through it. I need to give a shout out to Robbie Thornton, who is one of our current listeners right now on the air.
Oh, okay.
He's actually done something with his life. We
Right.
haven't. We fucking sit here, put ourselves out there to 6 listeners week in, week out. No one cares.
Yeah.
But he's actually going to be on Australian TV on Sunday afternoon as a
Really?
referee for the Curry Cup.
Oh,
So if you're in Australia, even if you're international, doesn't matter.
It's going to get.
Yeah,
So he's
I'm
doing
sure
some
you can Google
reffing,
it.
doing some reffing out there.
He's actually a qualified referee, been doing it for a number of years,
Okay.
but out there at the Curry Cup
Is it the final? Is it or?
Good question.
Yeah.
Robbie, post yourself in the chat there, mate. I don't know the answer to that. I don't know if it's final. Doesn't matter. Robbie's out there.
Yeah,
Check him out on
nice.
TV. Listen up, Blockhead, one of the 6.
One of the small but mighty. Nice.
Small but mighty. So well done, Robbie. Now, that brings us to the other exciting news for this week, Damo. I don't want to fucking
Yeah.
get too excited. I was a little bit pumped up.
Okay.
We jagged ourselves a 7th listener.
It's incredible.
Incredible. Now, we pointed out
I mean, it is a huge step. It's the next level. Going from 6 to 7, it's it's one closer to 10, really, Greeno, isn't it? We're
Mate,
going to keep pushing
look,
on,
I'm
making
a-
inroads here. you know.
Inroads. I'm a percentage man, right? Like
Yeah.
we fucking like 1/6 of our audience added. Just fucking bang. Impressive. So we've talked in the past that our key demographic, the probably the appropriate listeners for the show is the unemployed.
Unemployed, yeah. Unemployed or unemployable. That's a big difference.
Unemployable,
Oh,
insomniacs.
okay. So they're worse than the unemployed because the unemployed are just like in between jobs or whatever.
In between. No,
But
no,
you're
we
talking
use
about the people who are
unemployable.
you can't be hired, must not
Yeah,
hire.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got unemployable, we've got insomniacs,
Yeah.
and
Alcoholics.
highly medicated. Yes, alcoholics.
Alcoholics.
/ highly medicated.
Highly medicated people.
So that's our key demographic.
Yes.
And thankfully, at Stephen Dab from San Francisco
Okay.
reached out during the week, and he's like, "Look, stumbled across your show."
I don't know
because
any
you-
others. I don't know any other successful podcast in Vietnam, Greeno, that announces each new listener as they
Well,
as they
here's the
sign up.
I'll put an asterisk on it because we had to exclude our massive Vietnamese
Huge
listenership
audience. Yeah.
because I feel like it's unfair to include the millions that listen in Vietnam.
Well, it's unfair to the Australians, you mean?
Yeah, because there's only 6 of them. Or not even them. There's like
that's
2. There's Robbie and
Well, there's
my
only
mum,
really
that's it.
50 people that live here, really, isn't there? So
Yeah, to be fair.
we've got a huge slice of the market.
Exactly. So at Stephen Bab reached out during the week and he's like, just flicked on your show in hysterics. And I'm like, what time is it in San Fran? He's like 2:30 in the morning. I'm like, Insomniac.
Perfect. Yes. Nice,
Target
Garry.
markets.
We threw a dart and it landed on the west coast of the United States, Greeno, and hit a guy in the ass. So, all right.
So,
I'm up. Hey, I'm an insomniac. Is he also unemployable or have we not delved that
he's
deep?
employed. He's
okay.
employed. He's all good there.
So he's not
But
perfect then, unfortunately.
No,
like
but
if he was
into the
unemployable,
Insomniac market.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. If he was, if he was blacklisted from every company in his city or something, or in the state even, like just banned from working because he's so unemployable, then he would be our number one listener, though.
He would. Yeah,
unfortunately,
but
he's a normal guy who has a job, so
yeah,
it's not going to make
but
it.
Insomniac. So
Insomniac, yes, that's true.
Good to see we hit our target market there.
Nice, Garry.
Apparently annoying his neighbours at 2:30 in the morning by laughing at Australia while he's outside having a smoke. So once again, smoko outside, key demographic.
Spreading the joy at 2:30 in the morning. They should be thankful that somebody's out there laughing it up, having a good time. Hey, it's not all bad, there is stuff out there that's good. Enjoy it. Don't whinge.
If I can do a bit of story time, sir.
Little story time.
I like stories about pinatas.
I like how we kick off the show 10 minutes after talking. That's how the show.
Well, that was
rolls.
pre-show, wasn't it?
That was yeah. I feel like that was just housekeeping, if you will.
Housekeeping. Okay. Is that before? Do we do the housekeeping before or after the pre-show?
I think that's post pre-show.
Post pre-show. Okay.
Yeah.
But not pre-show.
Not pre-show.
Post pre-show.
Post pre-show.
Okay.
Actually, I've got a couple of story times. That
I like stories about pinatas.
Do we want office story time or big sporting weekend story time first?
Oh, we've got a reply. It's the Murray Rugby League Women's Grand Final, which happened last Sunday afternoon, Greeno, incidentally.
For some reason, I'm sorry.
Signed a sorry book. I think that is the fastest sorry book turnaround that we've ever had on this show. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, because normally, folks, it'll be like an idiotic comment, and then it'll be like, just say, we'll say something stupid about a football player, like, oh, he's finished, fucking wrap him up, he's done. And then it'll be like week after week after week after week for a couple of months, and then we'll begrudgingly come to the table and hit the sorry book and go, all right, we got that one wrong. But this is the quickest ever turnaround. We are talking
inside segment 1.
Inside 14 minutes, I'm going to call it. Nice, Garry. From statement to apology. That's fantastic. So he's got a record now, does Robbie on the show. Fastest ever sorry book.
Fastest ever sorry book is owned by Robbie Thornton. Now, to be fair, though, look, I'll challenge the sorry book if I can.
Yes.
For the fact that I still gave the plug for the time, the channel, I just happened to mess up what particular competition it was.
Right, that's fair enough.
So can we?
I'll award you a half point.
Can we do the sorry book, but do half a sorry book? Okay. So kind of stop there. That's it.
Seems to be.
No, done. Because I got 2 out of 3.
I reckon sorry seems to be is a good way to end it. Yeah,
there you go.
Seems to be is sorry. I don't know. Maybe not.
We'll do it. Still check out Robbie, Sunday Arvo, NITV. Now, so do you want Greeno's office stick move, or do we want big sporting weekend story time?
Let's do both.
But which one do you want first? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't know. Whatever you feel like, mate.
All right, well, let's do big sporting weekend.
It's I can literally say on this occasion, I don't know. You're telling the fucking story, pal.
Nice, Garry.
Right. Context.
Big sporting weekend, mate.
Yeah.
This is literally my favourite sporting weekend generally of the year. Now, this one happened to fall in a weird kind of balance for me, because normally what happens is there's one weekend.
It's an off its tits sporting month. You know what I mean?
Oh, mate, it is. But this particular weekend normally doesn't fall with this plethora of sport. Yeah. Normally what happens is last weekend I get a Saturday that has 4 playoff baseball games. Christmas.
Right.
Now, because they had a lockout at the start of the year, everything got pushed back. So now this weekend is the first Saturday where there's 4 playoff baseball games, which means 3 a.m. start for Greeno. Annoy the fucking family. Got to get up, got to watch fucking literally 13 straight hours of baseball. Right. And normally that is it. Normally at that point, I hang up the hat,
satisfied.
I walk out, play with the kids, have another beer, and happy days.
It's just kids, don't cry. It's just one 13-hour block. That's all I'll be away for.
13-hour block of baseball that Dad will get everyone up at 3 a.m. We're going to watch because fucking we have to. It's a rite of passage.
Make some breakfast and shit. It'll be good times.
Yeah. Fun fact, I've already pre-grounded my coffee just so I actually don't annoy the kids and the wife at 3 a.m.
Okay. What are you going to eat then at 3? What's your quiet food at 3 a.m.?
Well, once again, I fucking pre-planned this shit, right? Because last year I'm frying up stuff and fucking annoyed the wife.
Yeah, no, that's a complete dick.
That's a dick move. Yeah. So this year, once again, I've pre-ground my coffee. The coffee's in the coffee machine. I'm ready to go.
I'm going to hope and pray that you're not about to say you pre-fried things. Because
I did not pre-fry things. No, what I did went the cheese rolls. What a pre-packed cheese roll because I feel there's no crunch.
Yes,
I can
nice
chew that. There's no ruffle of a packet. Yeah. Everyone's a fucking winner, right?
You don't go the cheese. Why not go the cheese and bacon rolls, Greeno?
I don't think this wine, sir.
Really?
You know me. I don't think so. Dude, you've known me forever. Have you ever seen me eat bacon?
No, actually.
Exactly. Ever seen me eat pork? No. Don't think it's wine.
Oh, okay. Had no idea.
Hey. So cheese roll, got that ready to go, so that's good to go. So
is it because it's a filthy animal, or
I just don't like taste?
Don't like the taste of pig.
Yeah.
What about like pork crackle, like the way the Germans do it and stuff? Really?
No, that's the worst. Yeah, I hate it. Don't like it. The only time I like any kind of pig product is when I can't taste the pig. So I'll eat pig.
Spaghetti bolognese sauce kind of stuff.
Yeah, like I'm not opposed to pig. Like you give me some like beautiful like barbecue marinated pork ribs.
Yeah,
fuck it. I devoured 2 racks of them last week.
Oh right, because it just tastes like sauce.
It just tastes like it's beautiful.
And it can be like with the right sauce, the pork ribs can taste kind of beefy.
It tastes delicious. Well, they don't taste like beef. They just taste like barbecue ribs. Like they don't taste like a pig. Whereas ham or all those kind of things definitely taste like pig.
Right. So, like, what if I fried up like a ham steak, for example, or deep fried it and then whacked it on like a hamburger with lettuce and tomato and shit? Would you?
Well, here's the thing. I eat bacon, but the bacon's got to be super crispy.
Yeah, like chips.
Because all I taste is like a crunch, and I get a saltiness, but it doesn't taste like a pork or a ham, etc.
So you wouldn't eat like a pork schnitzel or anything like that?
Oh, no, hell's no. No, I'm not interested in that.
It's like a pork steak, basically.
But give me a sweet and sour pork, and I'll eat that.
Okay, because it's like shavings and shit. It's not like you don't...
Well, it's not shavings. You just can't taste it because it's drenched in fucking sweet and sour sauce.
I got a little story time.
I like stories about
pinatas. Is this a story time,
insider
story time?
Definitely is. It's an inception.
You've got to pause my story time and then open your
I
story
like
time.
Stories about pinatas.
I tend to think sometimes we get sidetracked just because of the protocols that are around story time and having to hit the button for half a dozen times to get through.
I feel like if we get to the end of the show and we reflect and go, we
never
should hit
reflect.
that button.
We should, but
we should have hit that button. I feel we would have felt like we cheated the audience by not, following protocol.
Yeah. Well, I've got a quick little story. Yeah, because there was a local Chinese place here many years ago now, but it was famous locally, ladies and gentlemen, because they would sell tripe, which is stomach lining of a cow, and they would just flavor it like beef and chicken and pork. And, and because when you mix it in with all the Chinese, I mean, who's buying Chinese food predominantly in the area we grew up, Greeno, right? On, say, a Friday and Saturday night. I tell you, it's people stumbling home from the fucking pub,
Pieces of shock. Yeah.
Yeah, or you're just lazy, it's like, oh, what do you want to do? I don't know. I don't want to cook. All right, we'll get some fucking Chinese, It's that kind of thing. So this restaurant was for years getting away with just cutting up and flavoring the tripe and sending it out as pork. So you'd probably be down for that, wouldn't you? Because, if they called it pork in a Chinese dish, there's so much like soy sauce and vegetables and all kinds of shit in there. You'd never actually really do taste the actual pork half the time, do you? And you're just shoveling it in because you're pissed,
Yeah.
Give me the rice. Mix it in with the
pineapple.
rice.
You get the onion in there. Like there's a lot of flavors happening.
Random stuff.
Yeah,
you wouldn't even notice. It's true.
So we can close that story.
Okay, yep.
I like stories
Like that
about
story?
pinatas.
And then reopen.
I like
Reopen
stories
my original
about
story?
pinatas.
Get the hang of it.
So big baseball weekend. So we got 4 games of baseball. Then after that, we're going to have Bathurst, whatever's still happening at that point once the game finish. Then the next day we got another 4 games of baseball plus all day Bathurst. Then F1.
It's a hell of a fucking day.
F1 overlaps Bathurst, which kind of is a bit of a kick in the dick.
Does it? What time does the F1 start?
4 p.m.
Oh, I'm going to have to watch the F1 on replay then, I'm afraid. Because I'm not investing fucking 5 hours up to that point just to miss the last hour of it. Yeah, to miss the end of the race. It's sorry, F1, you're going to have to put you on hold, you know?
Yeah. Spot on.
Yeah, fuck that.
So-
We're only going to watch fucking Max Verstappen win again anyway. So what's the
We're
difference?
not interested in that. Fuck it. Like, we'll move on. We can watch that on replay.
Exactly.
So the wife has been in my ear recently. She's like, you know what would be a great idea?
What?
An outdoor blow-up projector. I'm like, it's
Nice,
fucking
Garry.
stupid, man. No.
Yeah, we're
fucking hear
talking.
me out. I'm like, this is fucking stupid, dude. Like, what the hell? What the hell do we need?
She's
an
trying to
outdoor
kick you
projector
out of the house. You should embrace the fucking
No. I'm
you
like,
know, the
dude,
invitation.
You know me, man, fucking frugal. Well, no, I'm wasting my money on fucking blow-up outdoor. What the fuck are we doing that for?
We could just hang a bed sheet there, you know? Just hang a bed sheet on the wall.
Work our way around it. Yeah. Now, thankfully, I managed to win some money during the week on Aaron Judge hitting a home run. So I had a bit of playing money, and I was like, hang on, fucking this weekend, I've literally got 4 games of baseball, another 4 games, plus we got Bathurst, plus we got the
Sportorama.
F1. It's fucking Sportorama. So I'm like, well, hang on. Suddenly, this idea of the
all of a sudden, it makes sense.
I'm like, this is fucking genius, right? I got a bit of
See,
play money.
and this, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why you need to build your bunker before the war starts and not after it's because now the day's looming. You've now got days. You could have had weeks. This could have been set up, ready to go. You could have test run it so you wouldn't miss anything. You could have programmed it all the way you want. Now you're going to be like underneath a thing trying to plug in cables and the race is starting in 10 minutes and you'll be going, fuck, you know?
Exactly. So I ducked out last night if I can picked up this thing, right? She's like, here's this one. I've seen this. This is good. Yeah. Now, as I do, I find a cheaper one. Nice. The wife sends me a link. I'm like, nah, fucking leave it with me. I'll find a cheaper one.
I can do better than that.
Yeah, I can get a better deal. So duck on down, found it $50 cheaper. Fucking bang. 50. Excellent.
Now, how much effort did you have to employ to get the $50 reduction in price?
No effort. Literally just went to the next store over. All good, happy days.
Okay.
Now get the bad boy home. Fucking plug it in, looking all
Now,
good,
are we
happy.
talking about one of these jobs that hangs from the roof, Greeno?
No, mate, hear me out.
Okay, it sits on a little table or something.
No, so yeah, look, it sits on a table. You can adjust it. It's a portable projector.
Okay.
So projector's fine. We plug it in inside last night.
What do you plug the projector into? Like, what's it reading the stream off? Like your laptop?
So you can go USB, you can go laptop, you can go a Google Chrome thing. Okay. Like whatever you want. You can play as long as it's a HDMI connection. You're good to go.
Okay. So does it come with a big fucking curtain thing or?
No, they had to buy that separate, so that's part of the package, right? Now, I'm not a curtain.
It's hot dogs and buns all over again.
Nah, hear me out.
Okay.
I went out, and this thing I got, 117-inch blow-up fucking projector.
I can't even imagine what that looks like, thinking about it.
So I didn't realize that either, because I looked at it on the photo, and the wife's like, this is the one we want. I'm like, excellent.
Yeah, you got to get the tape measure out, mate.
Happy wife, happy life, right? So today, during my lunch break, I'm like, well, we're going to test this bad boy out because I need it tomorrow morning at 3 a.m.
Fucking outside. Absolutely. The clock is ticking.
Good to go. Yeah. The clock is ticking. So I blow it up. It turns out a 117-inch projector is bigger than my house.
Nice, Garry!
I'm not joking.
You can't get the whole picture on the wall.
Mate, I took a picture at lunchtime. I was about to send it to our chat, but I'm like, I need to save it for a story time so you laugh. I'll send you a picture after the show.
Okay.
You got to see how big this fucking thing is.
Why can't you send it now so everybody can see it?
Because it's got my kid and my wife in the picture, so it's just
that's a shame. They should know. Get out of the shot.
Well, just there's fucking no listeners, dude. It's fucking Robbie, and I've already fucked up what thing he was reffing. Like no one's listening.
True.
So blew it up. Fucking happy days. I'm like, this thing is massive. Send the picture to my dad. He's like, because I told him yesterday, I'm like, mate, Boxing Day, we're covered, man.
Yeah, you're fucking right in there.
Boxing?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Like we got this, and it's literally as big as my house, bigger than my house.
So for the Boxing Day test, you'll just be watching leg stump.
Pretty much, it's huge. So blow it up, it's outside, ready to go. So then I'm like, cool, let's test the projector.
Yeah.
Now, turns out here's where the fucking fallacy ends up happening.
Well, can I just interject?
I
with
like
one thing?
stories about pinatas.
Now, you get on reasonably well with your neighbours. Could you arrange to perhaps, put the projector in your yard and then project it across the way, onto their house, you see? Because then you'll have more of a space, you know what I mean?
Everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could sit on your front lawn maybe and watch, just let them put up, like, say, a big couple of bed sheets in front of their front door and their couple of windows, and you could watch it on the neighbour's house,
We could, whatever we want to do, but too late, already bought the projector.
Okay.
So we're covered. Plug the projector in, plug in the thing. I'm like, oh, test it out, because I tested it out inside the house yesterday. And I was like, yeah, it all seems fine, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
So plug it in and can't see shit. I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? What's going on? Like, why can't I see anything? I'm
It's a nightmare.
I'm panicking at this point because I'm out. Like, this thing wasn't like, $20. Like, I've forked out hundreds and hundreds of dollars for this fucking.
You did get a $50 discount though, so
I did.
you can't
50.
complain too much. If
Happy
it doesn't
days.
work. Yeah.
So I'm like, what's going on? Blah blah blah. So then at this point, because the wife's like, yeah, no, it's an outdoor thing. Blah blah blah. I Google, like, why won't what do you need for a projector to work outdoors in daylight?
An IMAX cinema.
And they're like, so then I had to become a lumens expert.
Yes, you need certain lighting strength.
So apparently there's certain lumens that you need in order for the light to override the daylight in order to project on a projector screen.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, cool. Well, how many lumens do I need in order to project a projector onto an outside screen in daylight? They're like 7,000. Excellent. Okay. I need 7,000 lumens in the projector in order to get that, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So I go and I check the booklet. So I'm in the fucking, how many lumens does mine have? 100. That seems a bit short.
A little shallow, isn't it?
Just a tad, which may explain why I can't
came in a little low there on that one.
just a tick. So here I'm out, fucking several
Now you can't.
$100.
Yeah, see, and this is what I'm talking about, man. This is hot dog and hot dog bun situation, because now you're going to have to go out and spend like $400 on some fancy light bulb or something.
Here's the thing, right? So I said to the wife, I'm like, look, here's the fucking issue. I can't see shit. I'm 6,900 lumens short, and
where am I going to find these lumens?
I need the lumens. This thing is not going to do it. Yeah. So then I'm trying to come up with another plan. So then I get a sheet over my garage door.
Try and dark the shit up a bit.
I'm trying to dark the shit up and maybe doing it inside my garage.
I like it. I like the way you think.
Right? Yep. Shit didn't work. Like, it worked, but it didn't work. Yeah. Then I do it up against like my white cupboards.
It's really hard to block out light in the middle.
It's very difficult.
You have to go around every crack, every window. Yeah,
it's a bit. It's no good. It defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to achieve of being able to watch the Boxing Day test outdoors.
Yeah, I've got my outdoor summer cinema set up. If you would like to walk through this dark curtain into the garage, and then I'll lock the fucking shutters.
If you can squint and close your eyes as best as possible, we'll get the most out of this experience.
We sit here in the pure darkness because I'm 6,900 lumens short. Show it during the day.
So I'm stuck here. So then I'm saying to the wife, I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with a blow-up projector screen that is double the size of my house with no projector that works on it? Like, the only time I can use it is after midnight. Like,
that's when you start thinking shit like, man, I could have spent $250 and just got a TV and a fucking bracket for the wall, and this would have all been sorted out in 15 minutes,
Everyone's a winner. So then I start going on a mad hunt online of like, okay,
lumens.
How much fucking, I need 7,000 lumens stat. How quickly can you get it to me?
Yeah.
Now I managed to find one for a price that was more than what I paid for this thing, but it's got the 6,900 lumens I need. So I'm like, once again, duck on into the wife. I'm like, look, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I found the one with the lumens. and we'll be able to watch some shit outside. But we're out another few hundred.
You know what this reminds me of? That movie where the guy, he goes to buy the house and the guy's like,
the money pit.
Is it the money pit? And he's like, yeah, that's a really nice pool. Yeah, we're taking that with us. Oh, we're taking that wall with us. And then he gets there and the pool's missing and the wall's missing. And he's like, no, we strictly said that we are taking it with us. You know what I mean? So you're fucked here. So you've gone out, got the projector, figured out that your light bulb is horrifyingly short of lumens, the required amount to watch shit during the day. Now you need to go out and buy the light bulb, which costs more than the projector in the first place.
No, this is a new projector. It's
a new projector. Okay.
We're buying a brand new projector now.
Okay.
Something I didn't even want at the start of yesterday. Yeah. Now I'm out and buying a more expensive one.
Oh, so ironically, if you had have got the expensive one first, you would have actually saved money.
Potentially, correct.
Yes. Nice,
Garry. So at this point, because I've been jacked and excited about the prospect of outdoor Bathurst. You're Boxing Day.
Yeah, it's like someone promising you the fucking Super Bowl and then dropping you the week before, and you're like, no, this needs to happen. I'm ready for this now.
I don't care how much it costs me. I'm getting this. I'm getting it done. It's like AFL Trade Radio. We're getting it done. What do we do to get it done? We're going to go online. We're going to get it done. So find it online. Convince the wife. Hey, you mind if I fucking fork out more hundreds for that? And she's like, yeah, fine, go for it. So that done. Now I've got the 7,000 lumens on order coming in this week. Means I don't get to do it for tomorrow in Bathurst, but good to go for like Boxing Day, Super Bowl, all those kind of things. Okay. Now I've still got this dud fucking 100 lumens projector sitting here.
What are you going to do with that?
Well, I'm taking that back to the shop. So I rock up to the shop this afternoon. I'm going to take it back ASAP.
Okay. So on the same day you bought it, basically.
Day after. So I bought it last night. I'm back at the shop this afternoon.
Okay.
I rock up to the counter and I said, lady, I'm like, look,
this thing's a piece of garbage.
Pretty much. I bought this yesterday, plugged it in, tested it out. Unfortunately, as soon as there's any light around the projector, the shit don't work. I want my money back. Mm-hmm. And the look on this poor 15-year-old's face was like, I need to speak to my manager.
Okay, you get the manager. It's all right.
So I'm trying to explain the situation to him. Like, look, hear me out. The thing doesn't do what it because I pointed to the advertisement that has a bunch of people sitting around a picnic table
in the daytime,
happily smiling in daytime with this big fuck off projector in the background. Right?
Even McDonald's isn't that audacious anymore. Like these days, they actually take pictures of real food now. You know,
the sloppy burger.
Yeah. So. And so this is heinous. That that kind of picture.
I'm well within my rights here. So after 5 minutes speaking to the manager, she comes out and she's like, "The manager's agreed to refund you, sir." So now I'm only out like the extra cost on top. So I managed to refund the 100 lumens, but did leave a little note inside there for anyone who purchases, going, "Do not use outdoors."
Do not use. You did that as a community service.
Community service.
Nice,
Gary.
It's Garry. Very good.
I like stories about pinatas.
Well done.
Do we do the no Garry, nice Garry? We'll come back with the Greeno's office story time after it.
Okay. You want a nice Garry, no Garry? How about this, Greeno? Yeah. No Garys left in Britain by 2050.
Nice Garry!
Garys could be wiped out within a generation after it emerged that there have been no children named Garry since 1992, Greeno.
Surely that's not accurate.
How could it be? How could it be? But then I think, well,
I don't know a Garry.
But every kid is registered like the day they're born. Their name goes onto a roll. It goes into the system, and there you are. The day you're born, you're already on some fucking government database straight away, 100%. Straight up.
Now.
So they could probably just imagine a huge Excel spreadsheet. They could probably filter out the Garys,
Well, that's in Britain though. So no Garys left in Britain. Yeah. Now Australia though, Garys through the roof. Are we still having Garys? I think we have Garys because of Nathan Lyon.
Can you think of any friend you have your age that's a Garry?
No friends my age. What I'm saying is there's a generation that there's people who name their kids Holden and Forward, right? Because they love Holden and Forward cards. Now there's enough fucking Australian cricket
Commodore Smith.
There's enough Australian cricket nutbags that are not like Nathan Lyon enough that they will call their kid Garry just so they can go, nice Garry.
You reckon that's gonna
Fucking oath, man. I reckon if we look at the Australian, this is England. There's no Garys.
Yes.
But I think if we look at the Australian data, I reckon if anything, we're going to have double the Garys.
We're promoting Garryism.
We're pro Garry.
Pro Garry all the way. We love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Bring on the Garys.
Now there may be no Garys, but there's still a good chance to have a good name out there.
Oh,
Garry
yeah.
may not be it.
Yeah.
This one is a name game hero that we saw playing. I don't know what comp this was in.
It's French League, I think.
French League, it is. Now, this one is, what's this guy's name?
Steve Ho You Fat.
Steve Ho You Fat. That's right. He's changed his surname to Ho You Fat.
Ho You Fat.
On the back of it. Now, if that is not the best-selling jersey in whatever fucking league, there you go. Steve Ho You Fat.
Nice, Garry.
French professional basketball Garry. Well done, sir.
Yep.
Like you had Meta World Peace, and now we've got Steve Ho You Fat.
Meta World Peace. I remember a bit of, but that's not AFL. There was an AFL footballer who played for the Geelong Cats, Greeno, who legally changed his name to Whiskers. That's right.
That was a sponsorship deal, though. That one.
It was, yeah.
Where
Whiskers.
Whiskers, he had, with what was the cat food brand?
Was it Whiskers? Just at a guess.
That's a fucking give me a dick move.
You dick!
I think it was Snappy Tom.
No, that's what I thought it was. He's fucking having, no, it was fucking Whiskers. What a dickhead I am. That may be worse than my call on what I thought Robbie was.
You're on a roll tonight, definitely.
Having a good one. I'm too pumped up for 3 a.m. starts, man. So we've done. What are we up to? Fuck, mate. I don't even know.
Name game hero. How about this, Greeno? Do you, bro? What's your problem with this? I don't.
For our new listeners, we have a segment called "Bro, People Are Fucked." Just because we saw a lot of bad, fucked up behaviour that occurred through the pandemic, we're like, "What the fuck is wrong with people? Like, this isn't normal behaviour. This is weird. This is bro, people are fucked." Saw this during the week. Trans autistic refers to someone who wants to become autistic. It can also be used to describe someone who feels they should become autistic.
Feels they should is interesting to me.
What the fuck is going on?
What should would indicate, Greeno, like a level of like it's fate or something like that, like predetermination. You know what I mean? I feel I should become autistic. You know, kids normally think, well, I should become a fireman.
Yeah.
Or I should become like an astronaut or a sports star. But, you know, this is obviously a different goal to aim for, I guess.
Simple outcome, bro. Right. People are fucked.
Nice, Garry!
You be whoever you want to be, I reckon.
But yeah. Now, we'll give it not so much a nice Garry, but a hot toss, Damo.
Hot toss off the press. Do we have hot toss still?
Yeah, mate. Oh, yeah. I didn't realise Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was still going these days.
It's still going in Finland because apparently that's Finland, where this was. Yeah.
Spot on. So we saw this. Now, Mika of Thaman Paka.
Can I just say, I don't speak Finnish, but if you read Finnish in English, it looks like a very fun language that's like, it looks like something a Pokemon would say, you know, like Mika on Thyman Pakapunky, you know, Pakapunky.
Well, this one, it translates to what's the capital of Thailand?
Okay. Well, it's close.
Mika Thyman Pakapunky is what's the capital of Thailand. Now, what options we got available here, Damo?
Okay, let's have a look.
A.
Bangkok.
B. Bang Dick. C. Bang Pussy. Tai D. Bang Tits.
What?
Bang Tits.
What? Is this real?
Fucking sure hope so. I think it is actually real.
So is like, I guess their relation. Well, I was going to say, I guess their relationship to the English language is obviously different to ours, but many of them would speak English. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think what they would have done is they would have looked at the thesaurus. and gone,
what are the other words?
Other words for cock, and then similar words thereafter.
It's
and
a real shame.
After bang.
It's a
I
real...
reckon this is like $100 question.
Yeah,
Either like, we'll sort it out. Bang cock, bang tits, bang pussy, whatever was the other one.
Bang dick.
Bang dick.
Yeah. I think the real tragedy here, Greeno, is that the audience is wearing masks. Because I would love to have seen what their reaction was under the mask, you know. And if, like, would they look at each other and go, wait a minute, did he say, you know, like, let's hear it one more time just to make sure we're not making it up.
A. Bangkok. B. Bang dick. C. Bang pussy.
Bang pussy.
By D. Bang tits.
Bang tits. We need to update our sound drops. So I think we should make each one of them, you know.
That's a different soundbite.
Yeah.
100%.
A. Bangkok. B. Bang dick. C. Bang pussy. By D. Bang tits.
No joo, mä oon Bangkokissa käynyt muutaman kerran.
The look on the host face of like the very serious Eddie Maguire look of like, what do you think? Bangkok, bang dick?
Bang pussy.
Se on kai se
Bang pussy.
Bang tits.
toi Bangkok. A.
Sitä ei tarvinnut sen enempää miettiä.
Ei.
Ja se on ihan oikein, ettei sitä tarvinnut.
All right, Bangkok.
Yeah, better way to get it when it happened for us. Garry! Then Bangkok.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note? Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later. Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
There's a place that we can go to watch old things. All the warm, fuzzy member berries it brings. It's a special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Campy old movies and old cartoons. We hope to see you over there very soon. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. When we were kids and there wasn't any school, we'd sit and watch all the best cartoons, eating cereal until it was noon. We never thought that 30 years later it'd still be cool. Saturday night and cheesy movies, the ones that used to show us boobies. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy.
Now with less than 3% sport content. It's the starting block on TAVshow.com.
Yes, welcome back to the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Don't forget, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you're probably going to have to buy a subscription soon, apparently. Have you seen that thing, Greeno? The Twitter's selling like a new version of Twitter for about $7 a month called Twitter Blue.
I'll pass, thanks, mate.
Yeah, so, and apparently you get like all special features and stuff and you can edit your tweets. That's the big selling point.
Gives a fuck. Like, fucking editing tweets. What's going on there?
A month. And the Elon Musk sale may still go through, but...
Sounds like it, because you're getting sued.
Yeah.
For breach of contracts. Oh, fuck it, I'll just buy it then.
Interesting, though. I just saw something on Twitter earlier. Apparently, the judge in the case has put back the court case until after the midterm elections.
After midterms. Yeah, I did see that too.
Yeah, nice, Garry. Very good. Very good judging there, I reckon. Tip of the hat. Well judged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. All right. What do we got here, Greeno? You sent this through. I don't know what it is. It's a woman and a horse. Let's have a look.
Melbourne Cup hot toss, sir.
Hey? What?
Melbourne Cup hot toss. Hit the hot toss button.
Melbourne Cup hot toss. Okay.
So for our listeners, basically what happened is this chick's decided to post something on Instagram, trying to look very sexy and suave in front of a horse up there in the stables. And the horse is like, there's a zipper, and it happens to be in front of her boobage.
Yes. Well done. Nice. Good horse.
Nice, Garry. Now, my question to you, Damo, hashtag me too.
Well, is the horse guilty of sexual assault?
I
don't think.
He's not wearing any pants, Damo, and I didn't see any consent there. So between it, we could be in some trouble here. And
women have known to cavort with horses in the past. We have it on film, Greeno. We know it's happened before. Women and horses has been a thing. So I guess it all comes down to, can you excuse a horse for sexually assaulting somebody? Like, can we assume the horse knows what it's doing? Or is it dumb enough to get away with it? Because if you're a dumb person, you can do whatever you want, really, and people will go, he doesn't know any better,
Doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
Or, how good is the horse at any kind of athletics?
Yeah, if it's a cup winner, it can do whatever it wants. It's like, get over here, you slut.
We'll find a cover up. We'll be all right. Pay off what we need to pay off, and then we'll move on.
That's it. Nice, Garry.
Nice, Garry. Quick story time for you, Damo.
Little story time.
I like stories about pinatas.
Now, we've talked about the office setup on the show in the past about, this
a garage is where you park your car.
Like your car, where basically, for some reason, employers are now wanting their employees to go back into an office environment unnecessarily and feel like, this is a good thing. This will be great. Come on in. Let's fucking hang out.
No, we really want you to collaborate with people.
Collaborate. Like, no, we can collaborate virtually. No, I feel like it's better done in person. Why? Well, because, I'll get to it. So this week we got.
It's amazing, but I get more done when I don't have to drive 4 hours a day. Or sit on the train for an hour and a half.
Or get interrupted by people interrupting my desk, etc.
Yeah, so, it's what I say. It's a high price to pay to talk about the footy on the weekend.
Small talk, yeah. Exactly.
And now there's no footy, Greeno. The cricket crowd is more sparse in the workplace. Have you noticed? It's a lot harder. I've found it's very easy to talk to people about rugby league, and I don't particularly care about rugby league, so that doesn't interest me. It's a little harder to find people to talk about AFL with, but there are one or two that I've identified. Yeah. But it's practically impossible to get anyone who's interested in motorsport, and it's practically impossible to get anyone who's interested in cricket remotely in the slightest. So now I'm not even getting that, lunchroom fucking 5-minute banter. Well, your team sucks. Oh, I reckon they're going to go all the way this year. You're robbed of that now because you're like, so did you check out the Formula One on the weekend? And they look at you funny and go, what's that?
What's that mean?
And you're like, man. And I'm like, well, it's on at 2 a.m. You got to dedicate yourself really, to watch
social media for a day.
You're always miserable the day after because you don't get any sleep when it's on. It's real punishment basically, but you have to have been doing it since you were a child to understand it. So you don't really interested. Yeah. They go, wow, that guy's really weird. Yeah.
Yeah. No good.
He's into weird stuff. Can't have it.
So we got this invite last week where the managers, they were pumped, mate. They were pumped. They're like, look, we're gonna do a thing. We're gonna talk about our vision. We're gonna do our vision for 3 hours, and then instead of giving you a Christmas party, we're gonna give you an early Christmas party.
Oh no!
On a fucking Tuesday night.
Now, why are people doing this? Because I've heard this is getting rampant, and this. I've seen this firsthand, this kind of, I'm like, wait, it's like 6 weeks before Christmas though. You know?
Well, they're trying to, because you get in early so you don't have to pay as much.
Ah, right. Okay.
Because if you try and book a venue in December, fucking they up the charges. But if you book it in October, they're like, well, no one's booking rooms in October. Here you go, have it for half price.
You know, I'm afraid, like, I have to decline any invitation to a Christmas party in November. And I'm sorry, but it's like, well, a Christmas party I can handle, but this is not Christmas. I don't feel like it's Christmas. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's a Tuesday, and you're really just keeping me away from. I need to get home. I need to do the dinner. I need to get the baby fucking washed in the tub. Like, I got shit to do. Can't be here on a Tuesday pretending to celebrate Christmas with co-workers. I'm sorry. Have a nice time.
100%, mate. So we get this invite, and as I always do, first instinct, fucking decline that.
Yeah.
Fucking, I'm not going to that shit. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm going to go in at work 2:30 in the afternoon. Fucking go. I'm not going to the bullshit, and then I'm not going to the party. Fuck that. Not happening.
Yeah.
Then about a week later, we get this email going. Side note of this from the CEO. Going.
By the way, guys. Attendance is mandatory.
100%. Just an FYI.
Because they must have been getting flooded with declines, I reckon.
Yeah, well, basically, no one had RSVP.
Nobody
was like, no, man, we're not fucking coming in for this shit. Fuck it, we're not doing it. So they go, no. The first bit is mandatory. You have to come in. The second bit, the party, we highly encourage people to come. Now, we can't force people to come because it's after work hours. Yeah. But they're like mandatory first thing. So I'm like, okay, well, fuck it.
They've got me.
No, well, it's fine. They're like, no, but fill out this form to make sure you can RSVP. I'm like, well, I'm not going to the party, so I didn't fill it in.
Yeah.
So then I get another follow-up from my manager going, oh, look, don't forget you got to RSVP. And I said to my boss, I'm like, no, mate, like, it's fine. I'm not going to the party. I'll rock up to the mandatory thing that you guys are forcing me to come to. Yeah. And he goes, no, you got to RSVP to both.
What?
Like either yes or no.
But you've already been told that you have to attend. So what am I RSVP? To make it look voluntary? Or
So here's the thing, right? So then I'm like, fine, I'll fucking click the link. I'll tell them I'm going to the thing they're forcing me to go to anyway and saying no to the thing I'm not forced to go to. Yes. So I click on the link and they go, fill in all these details.
What?
Oh, no, sorry. It says, we are going to use this information for X, Y, and Z, and your photo may be published. Do you consent? So it says, do you consent? I said, no. And it says, well, unfortunately, we are unable to register you for this event.
Okay.
And that was it. So then the next day I go to, so my boss goes, oh, people need RSVP. I'm like, mate, I tried to, but it asked me for permission to provide all this information. And I said no, so it won't let me register to a mandatory event.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, but you have to register. I'm like, well, no, I can't though.
Not agreeing to that.
I don't agree to my information being used and my photo being published. So how am I going to register to a mandatory event? Like, you know I'm going because you fucking told me I have no choice but to go.
Yeah, so now it starts getting into that weird territory where the power shifts from management away from management and to you, because now you're like, hang on, bro, are you trying to coerce me to consent to something I don't want to consent to that's optional?
Yeah.
Like, I know
exactly.
You can't really do that, you know?
Yeah. So I like my boss is a good dude. So I'm like, I don't want him fucking being badgered because I'm the one dude in his team who hasn't fucking
I know, but
RSVP'd.
it's the temptation, Greeno, to stand on principle in that occasion must have been very strong.
And I literally waited till the last fucking possible day. And then I consented and fucking gave him fudge details. With the exception, I didn't even give him my full name. I gave him my initials.
I was not expecting that.
I gave them a mobile number. I'm like,
you work there.
I'm like,
they know who you are. You work there.
So I gave them my work number, and they go, "We need your emergency contacts name."
No, you don't.
And mobile
Fuck
number.
off.
So I'm like NA, and was very close to writing "fuck off."
Yes.
I chose not to because once again, don't want to give my boss any grief. So that was my RSVP, my initials. My work phone number, and then everything else was not applicable.
Okay.
Not applicable.
You say
asterisk. So
that's actually better. That's actually better than just refusing, because you're actually now forcing them to acknowledge your RSVP. And it's like, wait, what's wrong with it? You know, like you've got my initials, you've got my
100%.
phone number, you got what you asked for. Now, why aren't you letting me come to the mandatory thing? You know,
fuck off. Yeah. So then my boss, like my team was talking about, because my team is excited. Like, I haven't actually met most of my team in person in this time. But to be fair, because I live 1,000 miles away.
They're young, they're energetic, they're go-getters, they're optimistic. Whereas, you know, you and I, Greeno, we get to this age, we're bitter and twisted and cynical, and we believe the world is evil and awful, and we don't want to participate anymore.
Don't ever want to leave my house. Exactly. We had a team meeting today, and one of the guys on my team was like, Shane, please tell me you're coming. And I'm like, dude, I'm coming to the thing I'm forced to come to.
I'm going to the fucking party. Yeah.
But the after thing, no, fuck no, man. Firstly, I leave 1,000 hours away. So on a train, it's going to be about a 5-hour round trip for me to come to this stupid thing.
Yeah.
I said that is double the time of the thing we're forced to come to's duration.
Yeah. The only upside is you'll be traveling for 2.5 hours where you otherwise would be working, and you can now say to people, no, sorry, I can't do any work today. I've got to sit on the train for the next 2 hours.
I've got to sit on the train for 2 hours. Exactly. So
tough shit, I guess.
She's like, what time are you going to leave? And I'm like, fucking 10 a.m. to get to this stupid thing. She's like,
I'm giving you an hour of work in the morning.
I'm not doing anything, mate. You're not going to fucking do anything. I'll sit there and just bang my desk for a couple of hours. So I'm like, mate, I'm not fucking sticking around. I said, I've got 2 options. I can either catch the train in, spend 5 hours on the train, or I can drive in, which is going to cost me $100 in parking. And it'll save me about an hour. I'm still weighing up what I'm going to do, but if I drive in, fuck it, I'm going to charge work for the parking.
Wow.
They're my options. Like, so you're not going to stick around for a drink? I'm like, no. I said, I'm as fucking much of a raging alcoholic as the next guy. Yeah. But even this is not at a point where I'm willing to sacrifice hours of my life for free booze. I'll come home and drink. I'll pay for it. It's okay.
Yeah, you need to be near home base to get off your face. That's my new kind of saying these days.
Also, it's a fucking Tuesday night.
Yeah, so if I'm getting drunk on a Tuesday, I especially need to be close to bed, or I'm not coming, or I'm not working on Wednesday. That's the way it's going to work.
I'm not coming in Wednesday because that means I need a hotel because I'm getting pissed in the city, and I'm not going to get a train down to fucking Kiama.
Imagine getting a train back home at 9 a.m. the next day, and
the next day, fuck that, not happening. And the fact that everyone who's gone to the office has had a COVID outbreak.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
In the last fucking 6 months, I'm like, I'm already forced to put myself at risk, and my family and all the old people my wife works with. Fuck that. Like, I'm not sticking around any longer than I need to.
There's an amazing. That's a fucking.
I like stories about pinatas.
Well done. You've outdone yourself there. I have noticed too, Greeno. You know, office-wise, there seems to be a trend with the COVID people, and it seems to be like one a week. I reckon I'm counting one a week. We, you'll see everyone in the office. You know, hey, how are you? How's everything? Good. And then next week, it's like, oh, by the way, such and such isn't coming in. They've got COVID. And it's like, oh, you mean the one that was sitting there, right there, like, you know, a few days ago. Oh, okay, that's interesting. And then, everybody's like, well, I guess everything's okay. And then next week, it's like, hi, how are you? Everyone good? And then another one will drop. It's like, oh, did you hear about Janice in accounts? No. Oh, she got COVID last week. Really? Was she in on the office? Yeah, she was. Oh, funny that. Seems to be a thing. Yeah.
Ours are done in batches, right? We always have whole teams go down because what they do is they want teams to come in to hang out.
You've got to collaborate, Greeno.
Collaborate. Yeah. So we had someone. So I work in like insurance, and there's like a lodgement team, right? So you call up and they lodge your claim. So once a week, the managers get together and then we have a bit of a chat virtually and go, what's happening, blah, blah, blah. So the manager pops up on Thursday, go like, oh, we all went in the office on Monday and unfortunately we've had no staff all week, so we can't lodge anyone's claims. So if you call up to our company, why can't anyone get a claim anymore? Well, because we forced everyone to come into the office and the entire 8 team members got COVID.
Nice, Garry!
Nice, Garry. So no one's been in for a week,
and no one could figure out how to transfer a call either.
That was good. That was a good lunch. Like fucking.
I hope it was worth it. Did you get to talk about the footy?
Exactly. fucking dickheads, man. Like, it's so stupid. But all the managers are pumped though. They're fucking pumped for this thing. Like, we're gonna literally. This was a message we got from one of our upper managers today. I'm gonna party like it's 1999.
What?
I'm like, I just want to fucking get the fuck out of there. What is wrong with you? Like, how lonely and desperate do you have to be that that pumped up?
To want to party with your coworkers.
To pump up on Tuesday nights.
I just picture like kind of nightmare fuel where everyone, Office when they're doing the birthday and everyone's standing around. You got a little plastic cup with some champagne in it and a little cake, and everyone's like,
it's fucking Bill Lumberg,
you know,
this is legit Office Space shit.
So it's like, yeah, we're going to party. Like that description, just that, like, I'm going to party like it's 1999, makes me think of Ricky Gervais in The Office.
100%, man. And that's exactly
all right.
what
We're going to have a good time, aren't we? Everybody loves being here,
Yeah. I just chat with a colleague who I'm friends with, and like we've been working together for about 8-9 years, and like she's a good friend of mine. And she was talking, and she's like, "Oh, they're constantly trying to get us to go in," and like, because it's to collaborate and hang out, and socialize. She's like, "I don't fucking like any of these people." Like, she's like, "There's literally one other colleague I like, and he lives 5 minutes from me. And if I want to hang out with him, I'll just go knock on his fucking door. But no, let's travel for hours. Like, that's ridiculous."
There is this thing, like this constant thing, like it's definitely there because there's like little programs that get rolled out and stuff, and it's like, we want you to be more than coworkers. We want you to be friends. You know what I mean? And it's like, look,
friends. I need to do a job, man.
Yeah, I guess that's like, maybe it's a generational thing or something. I'm not sure, but I'm definitely in the same camp in that, like, oh, look, I'm just here to work, So, I prefer definitely getting along with the people I work with because we spend so much time together, and I'll always aim for that. But, I'm not inviting you over for Christmas or anything,
Well, that's the thing, man.
You do your thing
I
at
get
5 p.m. We go our separate ways and it's all good. And I'll say, hey, look, I'll see you tomorrow, Take it easy.
I get on very, very well with every single one of my colleagues. I have a great relationship with all of them.
Yeah.
I don't have to be physically there in person with them to have said relationship. And I'll tell you how I know that is because I've never fucking met these people.
Yeah.
Like, I literally,
everything's
I've
fine.
Built rapport. Yeah, we chat. It's fun, but you don't have to physically hang out with someone. Like, what am I missing? If anything, this is just open for sexual harassment lawsuits.
You reckon just inviting everyone back, giving them a glass of grog, and it's like, all right, go at it, kids.
Hear me out, because they seem to think that the only way you can connect is by physical touch, Damo.
Yes.
I want to have. Oh no, it's a different song. That's Invisible Touch. Isn't it?
Physical touch.
That's Invisible Touch. I think I fucked up that song. Yeah.
Let's get physical.
100%. Okay. So there's no fucking need to physically be around people in any way, shape, or form unless you want to these days.
Again, I reckon that's a generation. Because look, I studied via correspondence, so it didn't bother me. I actually liked it because I didn't have to go to a building to listen to a lecture. I could just fucking kick back.
Just listen to a lecture.
Oh, I kick back and have a cigarette and a cup of coffee and listen to it on the headphones.
That's how you want to do it. Yeah,
and
100%.
it's like the person's just talking to you as well. You pay more attention that way. Yeah. So there's upside. But again, I guess it's like some people just think that if they don't see people around, that nothing's getting done. I think that runs deep. People just think if they don't see people scurrying about the office, then they assume that nobody's doing anything. You know what I mean?
Here's a fun story time for you, sir.
I like stories about pinatas.
Had my one-on-one with my boss this afternoon.
Okay.
And I've never heard this phrase from a manager ever in my life.
Okay.
He said to me, he's like, "You need to stop doing too much work." Like, what do you mean?
What?
He's like, well, you did 3 times the amount of work of what one person should do last quarter. Like, it's like, I appreciate it, but it's too much.
Oh, okay.
Apparently I did too much work.
What did you say? Well, look, I can help you with that. If you make me come into the office, I will definitely reduce the amount of work I do.
Get COVID and be off for a week. 100%. No, in my boss's defense, he was like, I'm worried you're going to burn out. I'm like, look, I get it. I know I did too much work last quarter, but I've never heard a boss ever say you're working too much. The other phrase was, literally, he said to me, he's like, you've got too much leave. You need to take more holidays.
I've heard that before. Yeah.
But between the two things, I'm like, can't I just like? It's like you're trying to get me to work. So firstly, I want to work less, and secondly, you want me to not be at work as much. It seems the reverse of what we're trying to achieve here. Like, if you think about it, aren't we trying to get work done and maybe there to do the work? In my boss's defense, he was trying to look out for me and just like, just don't burn yourself out.
Well,
which means I'm now doing fucking 4-day weeks for the rest of the year.
Oh, fucking nice, Garry, Greeno.
Because I'm like, well, I'll tell you what, man. Because that's what I said to him. I'm like, mate, like,
yeah, that's a great idea. I'd rather take 1 day a week, you know.
Yeah, I said to him, like, look, to be fair, last quarter, I know I did a lot, and I did feel a bit burnt out.
Yeah.
But I said, since for the last 4 weeks, since everyone came back, I don't think I've worked a full week. I'm like, I'm just taking fucking random days here, there, going to watch my daughter's like swimming carnival, whatever it was, or taking a day off to go do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, I think I've done 1 full week in the last 4 weeks. Like, just keep doing that then. Like, that works out good. I said, I feel refreshed. It's all good.
Okay.
Interesting dynamic though for working. Of like, yeah, let's do less. Like, why don't you do less?
Well, balance is the key, Greeno. It's not how much the team's producing, it's the balance within the team and their happiness, and then they'll produce their best stuff, you know. So.
Yeah, well, that's not how it works, because if I didn't do all the work I did last thing, we wouldn't have met our target.
Okay.
Numbers, sir.
Numbers, yeah. Numbers or people? Which way are you going to jump?
Fuck that. I tell you what I need to employ. I need to employ a bit of Antonio Brown action.
Is he a good player? I've heard he's good, apparently.
Well, he was a good player, but he's a bit of a space cadet. So you sent me this one. Hero or douchebag, Dama?
Hero or douchebag. Now you need to definitely understand where the hero or douchebag kicks in on this story. So this is Antonio Brown. Apparently he's a pretty decent player for the Buccaneers. Is he a Super Bowl winner? Did he win it with them last year?
No, so former player. So he's been sacked from multiple teams because of behaviour such as this.
Issues.
Yeah.
So you can see now this is apparently somewhere in the Middle East. I believe it's Qatar or something like that. Dubai maybe on a holiday. And there's a picture there. He's got 3 gold. He looks like Mr. T. He's got gold chains on his wrists and his neck. Okay, so he's doing his best.
He's pitying fools.
Yeah, and he's in the pool, and he's just got the old fella just right out in the sunshine, you know, gloriously showing it off to the other patrons of this hotel. And this has apparently become a scandal, which I don't necessarily believe, because we've had dog fighters and rapists and murderers and all sorts go through the NFL.
A whole bunch of shit happened in the NFL, yeah.
This seems like, you know, milk toast to me.
There is literally there's some graph that I remember seeing, I think last year, which talked about it had a stat of all the different charges up against each NFL team,
right,
per player.
Robbie in the chat saying he did win a Super Bowl ring with Tampa. So there you go.
But did he play in the Super Bowl though, Robbie?
Well, don't they get a ring though if they're just part of the squad kind of thing? Yeah.
No, he did. I think he did actually play that year. That's right. Yeah, he did play in that Super Bowl. You might be correct.
Well, then again, that changes things massively as well, because if you're a Super Bowl winner, you can probably get away with more shit than if you haven't won anything, because there'd be more people willing to go, yeah, but we really need some experience on this team.
That's how he ended up in Tampa, because he'd been sacked by about 3 different teams. So he was with Pittsburgh for a long while, and then he went to another team. I can't remember who it was. Then he got sacked, and then Tampa picked him up in their Super Bowl year. Robbie's right. And they're like, what are you picking up that guy for? He's been sacked by 2 teams in a year because he's fucking space cadet. Tom Brady's like, I need a receiver. Like, it doesn't matter how much of a crackhead he is. Like, just fucking let him catch some balls and we're good to go.
We're good to go. We'll score touchdowns. So he's been caught doing this, and people are calling for his head. And I always appreciate a good double down. And this is where the hero or douchebag comes in, Greeno. When it all seems lost, Antonio Brown wants NFL team to sign him because of his ability, Greeno, to, quote, expose a D.
Nice, Garry!
He's going to expose the D.
Expose the D. Well done. Good little double entendre there. Well
so,
done.
Hero or douchebag, Greeno?
I'm going to give him a hero for the double entendre.
Absolutely.
I'm going to give him a douchebag because he whacked his old fella out and started jerking it off in a pool. Out there I'm
going to give him a hero for the double entendre and a douchebag for getting sacked from the Buccaneers, getting sacked from a Floridian team, Greeno. How about that? Silly boy. Yeah.
I'll tell you what I'm excited about. It's been a long fucking while since we've had this segment. The Mitchell Johnson Award, sir.
Mitchell Johnson Award. I've got to find it here.
I'll be back.
I'll be back. She'll be back.
He'll be back.
I'm back.
I'll be back.
Used to have one of these every week.
Every week.
Then it
Mr.
became
Johnson
a
would say he's back.
then it became a sorry book when he was
Yeah.
back.
But he's back because he fucking had the best Ashes performance I've ever seen in my life.
Single-handedly won an Ashes for us.
Yeah, I've literally never seen a performance like it in my life. It's fucking such good stuff.
He literally had English batsmen that would
Retire.
Trot I think broke down
Trot
with
retired.
depression and he couldn't handle it anymore and went home.
Yeah.
Halfway through
Went
the
home.
series.
Yeah.
Graham
Just
Swan went
there.
home halfway through the series, Greeno. The fucking famous Graham Swan.
Spot on.
Yep.
So the return. Speaking of showing the D, Damo, Tim Payne has decided to come back to Sheffield Shield cricket. Sheffield Shield started this week. He decided to come back, play first class cricket.
Nice, Garry.
Alistair Nicholson decided, hey man, let's fucking ignore passing discretions. Fuck that.
Yep.
Congratulations. How awesome is it to see Tim Payne back?
It's pretty awesome, but not as awesome as getting a fucking book deal, Greeno. I reckon
that's right. Before we get to the book deal, I just want to point out Tim Payne, good to see he's kept his form pre-sacking step down out for 6. So well done.
Is that really what he?
Literally scored 6 out for 6.
You know the Payne Simps will be out the next day going, oh come on, he's just come back, he's got to make his way back. And it's like, well, he was only scoring 20s when he got picked in the first place, you know.
Exactly. So I found the fact that he returned out of nowhere to be kind of fucking weird, right? I'm like, that's strange. Like Tim Payne, he wasn't on the squad, he wasn't part of the overall team, but then suddenly, like a couple of days before, oh yeah, by the way, Tim Payne's now in a squad. Why the fuck is that? Why did that happen that way? Then a couple of days later, Tim Payne releases a book, gets announced. I'm like,
so you're saying he got picked in the team purely for promotion of the book?
Correct. I think he delayed the announcement of his comeback to the point where his book was released because I think it happened about the same day.
Yeah, it would have been a couple of days later, yeah.
Yeah, just to kind of go, hey, man, Tim Payne's back. Tim Payne's in the news. Hashtag Tim Payne. Oh, by the way, hashtag Tim Payne release a new book.
You know, you're probably not wrong.
Yeah, sadly.
I'm going to give it to you.
Tim
Nice
Payne
go.
is to release a tell-all book titled Tim Payne, The Price Paid, A Story of Live Cricket and Lessons Learned. Now, Damo, as we go to a break, please tell me this is a picture book.
It's the JJ Stoner Spring Collection, the perfect attire for any and every occasion you can think of this season. Like we were in the mosh pit full of sweat and everyone's slapping, hitting, and pulling on you. This shit won't rip! Lunch at your favorite cafe? Brunch with the girls? These stylish ensembles will give you the confidence you need to look and feel your best. Or if you're getting arrested for possession, it comes with a built-in police stick-proof body armor. Keep swinging, pigs! Call now, and your order will come with a complimentary ounce of that dankest bubblegum slurricane that the South has to offer. Don't forget the wall tapestry! If you need to cover your wall, it works!
Hello, my name is Frozen Asian, and I'd like to tell you about my show, The Sunday Night Shit Show, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Along with good conversations and laughing at funny and weird shit we find on the internet, we also have the Hat Cam, where I showcase my myriad of great-looking hats. Here is a testimonial from a great friend of mine who has enjoyed my hats lately.
I hope your next hat is a bullet. Jesus Christ, what are you, fucking Asian Dick Tracy? What's wrong with you? Why do you have to ruin my evening? Like, I was gonna just listen to my buds do their show, and you just gotta do that. You do the show without the hat.
So you're not enjoying it?
No!
Dude, Asian
come
Dick
on,
Tracy.
secretly you enjoy it.
You look like you're going undercover in Argentina, but it's not working.
I hate you. I hate you.
Come on, you secretly love it.
No, I openly hate it.
And there you have it. So subscribe to the Sunday Night Shit Show at youtube.com/The Sunday Night Shit Show. And hope to see you there on Sunday nights. Bye.
Welcome to The Starting Block. Follow on Twitter at The Starting Block. Drop the K at the end. Find the podcast on iTunes or on tavshow.com.
Yes, back on the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's funny, even after our 3-month hiatus, we still haven't really cut down the back announcements this particular one, where the music goes fucking way too long, and I feel like I'm just kind of awkwardly talking over the back announce. Damo, last week we asked our good friend Stefan Sears to whack up a poll to work out the official name of the
Baby Boogie Bumper baby. Yeah.
And Steph put out a couple of different options out there.
Okay.
So we had the Boogie Baby.
Boogie Baby, yeah.
We had the Baby Bumper.
Baby Bumper.
We had the No Rubber Baby Bumper.
No Rubber Baby Bumper.
And we had our future queen, All Hail.
All Hail, okay.
All Hail. So the winner with 66.7% of the vote, the official name, the Boogie Baby Bumper Baby, is Baby Bumper.
The Baby Bumper.
Nice, Garry!
So well done. Now,
So we didn't go for Melon Head, obviously, or Noodle Neck.
Noodle Neck, no, we didn't.
Okay.
We felt unfair to the beautiful Baby Bumper.
What about Desiree the Potato?
No, that one didn't get any votes
Didn't
either,
get in either.
unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Not even a write-in.
Okay. Not even a write-in.
Wow. Not even a write-in vote. Steph personally was kind of disappointed that no one voted because 0% was No Rubber Baby Bumper.
Nobody wanted the No Rubber.
Yeah, because literally that was probably the funniest of the 4 options.
Well, it's probably the safest too. I mean, who knows what I'm carrying around? You know,
Fair call, safety
you don't
first.
know where
yeah.
mine's been. You got no idea.
So on the back of that, also, I know it wasn't in the last ad break, but quick shout out to our good friend, Joy of Pessy.
Joy of Pessy.
Nice,
He's got Boobaween coming up now.
Boobaween, that's right. Fantastic.
Good to see Pessy back and promoting and Boobaween, which was such a huge success last year.
It was. I think I did a Boobaween, didn't I? Did you do a Boobaween?
I know I missed out on Boobaween.
You did a Christmas though, didn't you?
I did a Christmas. I did the one with the Jack Frost, I think it was called.
Yeah, it was some psycho killer Jack Frost.
Psycho killer Jack Frost, where the carrot of the snowman's penis raped a woman. It was fucking very creepy.
Very excellent. Fantastic stuff.
Very creepy.
Nice,
but that's the beauty you can get over there to Pessy. So good to see him back. I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, I think he's got a new job not long ago, so he didn't stream for a while, but he's definitely back now. He's over on Odyssey, so no D Live, no YouTube. I think he might be on Rumble soon, but definitely on Odyssey at the moment. So go check.
But no matter what, fucking check out Boobaween. There with Joy Pessy.
Boobaween.
Damo, it's footy off season, and you know what that means?
What?
Bit of fucking NRL court dates, sir.
Court dates, love it. Favorite.
And fucking it didn't take long, sir. It did not take long at all. Literally the day after the grand final, this came across our desk. 7 News can exclusively reveal North Queensland Cowboys player Luciano Leilua has been charged with domestic violence offences.
In breaking news tonight, we can exclusively
7news.com.au.
reveal Cowboys NRL player Luciano Leilua has been charged with domestic violence offences. Police were called to a home in Harrington Park early this afternoon. There, a 26-year-old woman alleged Leilua assaulted her and smashed her phone. The North Queensland player was taken to Camden Police Station, where he was charged with common assault and destroying property. The charge will almost certainly rule him out of selection for Samoa in the upcoming rugby.
I don't know. Let's not be too rash here.
What do you mean? He can't be selected. What do you mean he can't be selected for a rep team?
Yeah.
Heaven forbid.
Hey, no, why can't he? It's like there's question marks over this. Hey, at least he's not a Christian, you know? So, Israel Folau. At least he's not that bad. So maybe he can still play. I mean, he hasn't been proven guilty in a court yet, Greeno. Let's be honest.
Wait to see.
Wait to see. Yeah, justice must be served.
Footy season ended, and congratulations to the Panthers, who just fucking completely destroyed the Parramatta Eels.
They
on
really
Sunday
did.
night.
I watched
But
that game, and like I was watching it with a couple of Penrith fans and a Para fan, and it was like I fucking hate Parramatta, right? You know, everyone who knows me knows it. I can't stand Parramatta Eels. Hate them. And it's a long story. Don't worry. Just there's a good reason, many good reasons to hate them though. So you know, I had no sympathy for their loss. Obviously, it was like a horse tiff shit. But Penrith just Para weren't bad. You know, Para got flogged, but they didn't play bad. It was just that Penrith was so good, and they just didn't let Para play. They didn't let them run. They couldn't get out of their own half. Greeno, basically. The
first 20 minutes was the most dominant I've seen in a long while. That similar start to how Melbourne came out against against Penrith 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was just relentless. Like it was like a state of origin team playing against a club team.
It was like Para.
Realistically,
it was like every Para hit up was lucky to get 3 meters, and every Penrith hit up they were rolling 10, 15, 20. And it was just relentless. You know?
Fucking Leota, who's the starting front rower for Penrith, was just on a mission. Like, I don't
Couldn't
know what
stop
crack they gave him before the game, but he was like, I'm going to rip everyone's head off, but legally. Like, he was fired up.
Monster.
One of the most dominant first 20 minutes I've ever seen from
a front row in a grand final. Can they be a legit dynasty? Like, I mean, talking like the Para of the 80s, you know what I mean? Para won 3 in a row and then missed a year and then won another one, you know, or something like that.
Potentially. Like, look, they've got the depth. They won every single grade this year.
But the guys in the first, I know it's crazy. They won every single grade, so they won all the junior grades. But the guys in the number 1 team are still only like 23 or something now.
Yeah. Whole bunch. They lost a couple of players. They've lost like 4 or 5 players over the last couple of years because, like, obviously salary.
But they just sub in some 20-year-old from
bring in a 20-year-old and
St. Mary's. They bring in another fucking St. Mary Saints premiership winner from last year, 19-year-old kid who gets selected for Origin that year. You know, it's like we got plenty. Doesn't matter. Let him go.
Bring up the next guy and look. Credit to them, like they've finally developed. Like Penrith has always been a powerhouse in the juniors.
Yeah.
But what was happening is they were never developing and keeping inside their system.
No, because they get sold to fucking the Roosters or
100%.
South Sydney or Manly. You know, they go
so
around
they're
the
doing
place.
that now and keeping it all inside their system. And heaven forbid, who would have thought a team that actually develops a young talent and has like a massive fan base and junior base throughout that would actually succeed if you keep those players around. Crazy notion, instead of buying and just like trying to overpay for hacks a la Tigers, etc.
I wish we still had the elevator music, because I've got a thought for you to ponder, Greeno. I've got a thought for you to consider. Now, consider this, right? This occurred to me during the grand final or just after the grand final, I think.
Yeah.
Because obviously for the Penrith Panthers, a lot is made about how they all play juniors together. They all come from the same region. They've all been playing together since they were like 15 years old, basically. And now they're winning premierships, you know?
Yeah.
2 in a row now. And they're all like 23 years old. They're by far the best team in a comp, and nobody knows how to stop them, basically.
Yeah.
That's the situation we're in. And it occurred to me that the funniest kind of cyclical thing has happened, not just in rugby league, because look at Geelong, okay? There's a very similar thing with Geelong, but now it's not youth with them.
No, that was age.
No, they were the oldest team to ever play, but they do recruit people who do have some kind of connection to like living the country life, who want to, you know, because if you look at their list, right, they have 46. I heard this stat the other day. They have like 44 players on a list or something, or 45. Over 30 of them were like born and grew up in country areas. Okay. So what they do is they recruit players. It's like, you know, do you want to get out on the city, have some property? And they do like a work-life balance thing with the club. They have rules like no team meeting goes longer than half an hour. So you're not kind of sitting around for 2 hours all day. Yeah, and it's like, so, you know, you don't have to be at the club all day. Come in, do your 2 hours gym work, whatever you got to do, and then go home back to your fucking house in the country somewhere. And so all these kids are lining up to play for them. So it's occurred to me that all of these sports, and it's football, AFL, rugby league, they all started off with We recruit everybody. This is who plays for the team. It's people from the local area, right?
Yeah.
And then as games got more powerful, that changed. And the dynamic was, let's just bring in the best players that we can get. And now it's going right back around to the beginning again, where the clubs are saying, you know what, the best thing we need to do is just develop local players who want to stay here and play for their local team. Yeah. It's now gone right the way back to the way it was. Incredibly. You know what I mean? So I want you to ponder that.
Yeah, it's also the cheapest way to do it because you bring those players back, like they've developed a certain value, right? Like look at a guy like Jezza who, probably came to the Giants as a draft pick and then developed up the value for him. If they just kept kind of got him into their system as a junior, developed him through, could have been a different story. It could saved him a whole bunch of money.
Well, see, and the thing is with Jeremy Cameron, you bring him up as an example, right? So he wasn't drafted. He was in like a 17-year-old's kind of special pre-draft kind of thing. If he had have been drafted, he probably would have been the number 1 draft pick, but he wasn't. You know what I mean? Something like that. He was like some special 17-year-old fucking allotment or something. He grew up in, I think the place is Dartmoor, and it's like 200 fucking people live there or something.
Yeah.
So,
it's
right?
Pushed down.
Now, he stayed in Western Sydney and Sydney proper for probably 10 years, and probably because he could probably live here with, anonymity to a degree. Mm-hmm. No one really knows who you are because no one really follows Aussie rules in Sydney that much. And then, sure, Geelong is like a big Victorian team, but what does he get in Geelong? He gets the fucking farm, he gets to live in the country, and he's like a half-hour drive away from the club, and he gets his country property. He went home and went to sleep on grand final night, after they won, drove home, went back to the farm, had a nap before he went out and celebrated. So,
party after.
Why wouldn't you want something like that? And
makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, and so all these teams now are like, we got to get local players. Parramatta's now trying to copy the Penrith model. You know what I mean?
Yeah, look, well, the thing is, how many Parramatta juniors, they haven't got as big a base as Penrith.
Oh, they got a pretty good one, though. Wentworthville and that kind of shit.
Yeah, like Westfield Sports, all those kind of things.
Yeah.
But a lot of those boys, like St. Dom's products, and they come back to Penrith.
Well, St. Dom's is Penrith, yeah.
No, what I'm saying is people get poached from St. Dom's to go to Westfield Sports.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. So Westfield Sports is definitely Parramatta area.
You know what Para's got shit like the brothers' schools and shit. So
that's my nephew plays for. Yeah, brothers.
Yeah, right. So they've got that, and they've got around Eastwood and Ryde and shit. There's a lot of
young clubs.
Yeah, and they do have good school teams around that area. We don't really have a lot of school teams out here, I don't think, compared to them.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because aside from St. Dom's, the footy clubs are more in the heading towards the city, but most of those guys are poached from the Penrith area, and they kind of come back. So.
Well, I mean, 4 or 5. I think it was 5 or 6 of the Penrith players were fucking St. Mary's players, St. Mary's boys,
and St. Clair,
which is next door to where we grew up.
Yeah, 100%. I was cheering them on. But fuck yeah, the boys.
Yeah, fuck
It was funny because we said on the show last week, we were talking about it. I'm like, you're cheering for him. I'm like, oh man, love to see Para from my old man. He's a Para fan. Blah blah blah. And my wife asked me literally the same question just before the game. And I said, yeah, man, I want to see Para, because, Dad, blah, 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 I want to see him happy. And about 5 minutes into the game, she's like, you realize you're cheering for Penrith? And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, well, you're cheering every time Penrith does something good. I'm like, I didn't realize. Subliminally, I wanted Penrith to win. So turns out I was a Penrith fan for the game. Yeah, I was like, sorry, Dad, Penrith's just too good.
Sorry, Dad, can't help you.
Been to so many Penrith games though, dude. What am I meant to do? I think I've been to more Penrith games than Canberra games. I'm a Canberra fan, so.
My father-in-law's the Para fan, and I said, because we went up to the in-laws to watch the game. So my brother-in-law's a Penrith fan, my father-in-law's a Para fan, right? And I said to my father-in-law, I said, look, I love you, obviously, and I would, as much as I would appreciate, you being happy and watching your team win a grand final, unfortunately, I can't because I fucking hate Parramatta.
Nice, Garry! Parramatta as a club, I don't mind, but fucking Mitchell Moses as a player, fucking douchebag.
Yeah. I don't know any of the current players at all.
RCG, douchebag as a player.
Yeah, for me, it's the fans.
Ryan Madison, douchebag as a player. Well, like, all the para fans I know I actually like because a lot of them are my friends. But not disputing the fact that you might have met some douchebags, but there's so many players in the team I couldn't cheer for. I'm like, I want my dad to be happy, but can we do it with a fucking more likable club? Sort of fuckwits. Like Ryan Madison, he had the option. He could either miss 3 games next year with a suspension or pay a $4,000 fine. He goes, I'm not fucking paying $4,000. Fuck it. I'll miss 3 games next year. Like, how you meant to cheer for that team, eh?
Yeah.
That's just douchebag behavior.
Douchebag behavior. I did like, I think League Freak, shout out to Freaky, by the way, tweeted it out. One of the Parramatta players saying something like, oh, you wouldn't see us celebrating like that. And I thought, well, yeah, of course, because you didn't win anything.
Once it's 86, bro. Of course you wouldn't see you celebrate. You haven't won anything.
Exactly. That's the most important part of the celebration is the winning part. You don't get the celebration unless you win.
It's like that Seinfeld bit where it's like
anybody can take the reservations. So, if you don't win, you don't get to celebrate. Oh, you'll never see us celebrating like that. Good own, bro. Cell phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't. We won't because you're not winning. That's why.
Not winning anything.
Nice fucking Garry, dickhead.
Nice, Garry. Footy fans ask themselves, what are we going to do now, man? Fucking footy's over. We're done for the year. I got good news. Good news. AFLW is still going.
AFLW, baby.
And fans, baby, they love the AFLW. We saw this scorecard from a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, mate.
Oh, bro.
Oh, mate.
Like 97-1. Now, for our American listeners,
Adelaide versus the Giants. 97 Adelaide. 1.
Yeah,
Giants.
1. Now, for
not 1-0, 0-1.
Yeah. For our American listeners, the way AFL works is consider a touchdown a goal, and consider a conversion of behind.
Yeah, basically.
This team went 15 touchdowns and 7 conversions against 0 touchdowns and 1 conversion.
A safety.
Yeah, a safety. No, the safety's worth 3, isn't it?
I don't know. Because someone, I think it was BE from the UK said, was it a rushed behind?
I hope it was. Nice, I fucking pray that one didn't come off the boot because. And look, credit to it, but I've talked a lot on the show
punishing,
before
isn't it? Yeah.
Let's put fucking women's sport to one side.
Yeah.
Let's talk about expansion, right?
Yeah.
NRL is about to expand next year for no reason other than money grab, right?
That's not fair. Queensland can definitely support another team, I think, because
they can support. The team. There's not enough talent for there to be quality football.
What you have to realize is, as much as the Broncos and Brisbane Broncos is a one-town team, it's not really. The support base in Brisbane is basically 50-50. 50% of Brisbane loves the Broncos and wants them to win. The other 50% hate the Broncos and go for somebody else because of the Broncos. You know what I mean? So this is going to be the team that the other 50% go, fuck yeah, somebody to go against the Broncos. You know,
that's not my argument. My argument is there's not enough talent to fill another team. And that's what we're seeing. They expanded the AFLW because they're like, no, it doesn't. It's fucking. There's not enough talent to fucking fill 16 teams in the NRL.
I don't understand these. I watch Premier League football. There's fucking 5 divisions. It'll sort itself out. You know what I mean?
Now, what I'm saying is, so they expanded the AFLW, going, we need more teams, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. This is what happens. There's not enough fucking talent. Someone literally got beaten 97-1.
97-1 is pretty horrific. Yeah.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. It's also, look, to be fair, look, this Giants team, they smacked the Swans by 10 goals the week before. So they won 60 to something, right?
Yeah.
And then lose 97-1. The Adelaide women's team is apparently the shit hot team that's won, flags. I think they're the defending champs and stuff. So they've been winning flags and games for a long time. You know what I mean? So
you gotta kick a goal in a game, though, dude.
You do. You definitely. It's pretty.
You can't go 0-1.
Yeah,
it's that's pretty embarrassing.
It is bad. Yeah, it's really bad. Yeah.
Cancel everything, Damo. What are we cancelling this
Rob
week?
Dog in the chat. As a Broncos fan, I totally agree with that. 50-50.
Nice, Garry.
There you go.
What are we cancelling?
What are we cancelling? This is fantastic. So I expect the Sydney Swans will be terminating their sponsorship deal because the story, Greeno, the CEO from Essendon got sacked after 1 day.
1 day.
1 day in the job, he got sacked. Well, did he get sacked? He resigned because the club came to him and said, look, you can either stay in your position at the church or you can continue to be CEO of Essendon Football Club. And I thought, well, this man obviously wants to stay out of hell, so he chose not to take the Essendon job, which is fantastic news. I mean, well done. So he's sticking it out at the church, and fucking good luck to him. Tip of the hat, and like stand up for what you believe in. I appreciate that. All right then. Essendon made a choice, but
I feel bad for the dude. He's just got to go back to a $10 million turnover CEO job. Like, must be tough.
Well, why? I take it as like, well, to be honest, if someone came to me and said, Boogs, would you like to run Essendon? I'd be like, well, I'm kind of pretty settled in where I am now. I wouldn't take the Essendon job either. The place is a shit pit. Why would you want to wade into it? It's fucking a joke.
He took the job, and like this guy's been because he works for NAB. He's one of the higher ups.
He was, NAB, is that correct? Yeah, he was. I think not anymore.
In banking, fucking, they know they're all devils there, right? So it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it doesn't matter what your thoughts are.
Yeah.
But for some reason, as soon as you get into footy, it's like, man, well, we need to know what your opinions are. Because we got to hack and to fucking dig in. That's what the media does. We just fucking chime in, even though we're hypocrites because we cover up a whole bunch of shit.
It's a good pile-on.
We're going to distract from the Hawthorn fucking Indigenous thing for a bit. Let's fucking talk about the Essendon CEO.
Yeah.
So they found, and this guy's like, well, fuck that, man. I got a fucking $1 billion in the bank. I'm not putting up this shit. Fuck it, I resign.
Yep.
And like, what do you mean? Like, well, I've literally been in this sport for 1 day.
1 day.
And they're attacking my belief system. And once again, I don't have to agree with his belief system.
No, but you can respect the fact that he has one.
I respect the fact that he's allowed to fucking believe what the fuck he wants to believe.
Yeah.
And whether it's not what I believe, and it may not agree with, my thoughts on what he thinks.
Does his belief?
Gave him a different story, man. Like,
does his belief in the Bible, in that homosexuality is a sin, prevent him from being able to run an administration of a football club? I would not think so.
I think it's two different things. And once again, it's just the kind of there's so much more fucked up shit that happens in football that they've used this guy as a scapegoat on day one to cover up a whole bunch of other shit or distract from other shit. And he's like, oh man, I've got enough money in the bank. I don't need to worry about it. Good on him. Let's give him a fucking nice Garry.
Nice Garry.
I don't care what his belief structure is.
I'm with you.
But I'm going to give him a nice Garry for resigning, going, I'm not fucking putting up with this.
Yeah,
it's not worth it.
Oh, well, fuck you then. Basically, that's what he said. They said, oh, look, we did offer you the job as CEO of Essendon. I know you've had the job for about 12 hours, but we have discovered that you may have some personal views, some religious views that may conflict with what we believe in. And he gone, oh, okay, then we'll stick it up your ass. See you later.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me. See ya.
It's
like, good luck.
I also hope on the Essendon membership form moving forward, they ask people their religious beliefs.
Do you want to have gay sex? Yes or no?
Yeah. Well, no, just so to make sure that everyone is in line with an open and equal. Because we don't want any bigots involved in the Essendon club. You can't have a bigot running the club, so we can't have any members handing over their money.
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's a nice Garry. Why stop it? I mean, clearly, we can't have somebody running the club who holds certain views. So I guess that means if you hold certain views, you shouldn't be part of the club either.
I think that goes for players,
fans, staff. Yeah. I mean, we should, the bus driver. What does he fucking believe in?
Commentators as well. Have we checked out JB's views just to be sure?
What does JB think?
We can't have him commentating on Essendon games.
See, this is what I want. Now you're snowballing, and this is exactly what I want to promote here on the show. Let's start cancelling everything. Let's get rid of everyone.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Exactly.
We've been saying this in the show for a long while.
Exactly. So now we can look at this tweet with our new vampire eyes, Greeno. So I expect the Sydney Swans will be terminating their sponsorship deal with Greeno Qatar Airways in the not too distant future. That's what I like to see. You know why?
I want the cash back, and I want them paying Qatar back with interest.
Swans always are very loud and proud. They always wave a lot of rainbow gay flags and stuff. They love to. They're very pro-gay. Okay, that's great. Now, what about Qatar Airways? That seems problematic to be taking money from a company from a country that has such strict anti-homosexual views, Greeno, and policy and laws.
It's death, isn't it?
Yep. How about this?
Yeah.
Thank you for the tweet. We need to keep pushing for this. How can a team so openly celebrate a Pride game yet have this airline as a major sponsor? It baffles me. He's got a point, doesn't he?
Fair call.
Now, other people are starting to get in on this act too, Greeno. We've been promoting a movement like this for a long time. Just cancel everything and everyone, get everyone back to zero, and we'll start again.
We had a segment called "What Are We Cancelling This Week?"
Exactly.
For fucking about a year and a half now. And it's good to see people fucking getting on board.
Let's cancel everything so nothing matters anymore. Then we can say whatever we want because everyone's already been cancelled. You see?
Yeah.
There will be nobody with power to strive to be. Therefore, we can do whatever we want. I think Collingwood FC, Greeno, this guy getting in on the act, I think Collingwood FC should ditch the Emirates. The UAE is not very tolerant. They're not tolerant. No? Fantastic. Look at this. What about the AFL with all their gambling affiliations, Greeno? We need to cancel the AFL, I think, because of all their gambling.
Because gambling, I think it's a sin, sir.
It's all very sinful. How about this?
Have we cancelled Sunday games while we're at it?
Keep digging further. Paris joins other French cities in World Cup TV boycott, Greeno. We're getting rolling here. We are slowly cancelling everything. Isn't it fucking fantastic?
I'll tell you who we can't cancel though, Damo, because he's too fucking good.
Yep.
Shohei Ohtani, baby.
Shohei Ohtani, nice, Garry.
It's the end of the regular season, which means the Angels aren't in it anymore, obviously. Which means it's the last Shohei.
How do you know it's finals when the Angels stop getting on the bus?
Stop getting on there. How about this, man? Like we fucking. It seems like we're blowing Shohei every single week, and quite rightly, because he's amazing. He's reached 162 innings pitched this season and is officially the first player to qualify in league leaderboards as both a hitter and a pitcher in the same year.
Wow.
It's never happened. So all that shit where they're like,
so top 10. No, he's he leading both leaderboards?
No, there's no player in the history, even Babe Ruth. You know how every time we talk about Shohei, it's like, Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth was a pitcher, you fucking idiot.
No one has ever qualified for both hitters and pitchers. So
and can I just say, though, by the way, to the Babe Ruth people who always chime in with that fucking idiotic line, I'm like, you know what? That's great. No one remembers Babe Ruth throwing a pitch. No one plays footage of him throwing a pitch. It's all the home run shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you ask 10 people on the street who know what baseball is but don't really know a lot about it, they'll say Babe Ruth was a batter. You know what I mean? They won't say anything about his fucking pitching, even though he might have been pretty good at it. Shohei, on the other hand, everyone's like, oh, yeah, that Jap guy who can throw and hit, that guy who does both things really well. You know what I mean? It's different. It's completely different.
Completely different. And not just fucking does fucking at like
the
MVP
best
levels on both, like unreal. So, no, like when it comes to qualification, right? So if you pitch a couple of innings, like it seems unfair that you qualify for certain awards, right? So in order to be a qualified hitter or pitcher, for average or ERA, you have to have pitched a certain amount of innings or you have to hit a certain amount of play appearances. Yeah, exactly. So for pitchers, like there's 162 games. Effectively, if you're a pitcher, you only qualify for the ERA title if you pitch 162 innings.
Yeah, you can't say you've got a 500 hitting average for your career if you came out and had two at bats, hit one and miss one. You know,
100%. So Shohei is the first player in history, because Babe Ruth didn't fucking do that back in 1908 or whatever it was.
That's right.
Because he didn't do enough innings or he didn't do enough at bats. He's done it in the same year. 162 innings pitched. He actually ended up pitching 166.
Is his bones going to melt when he's done playing baseball?
He's just a fucking freak, man. Like, it's not about the bones. It's about the fact that the skill set normally requires you to focus solely on one skill set.
Yeah.
You need repetition. He can do both without having that level of repetition. And that's what makes him the GOAT. Yeah. And all this argument this year of like Aaron Judge is the MVP because he hit 62 home runs, blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong, Aaron Judge has had an amazing year and it's unreal, but he didn't fucking do what Shohei did.
I love this comment
he didn't
here.
do both.
This top comment here, Greeno, this is fantastic. So the tweet is from the Angels PR Twitter account. How many fucking Twitter accounts do you need when you're a team? So we got a PR account, do we? Is there a players, locker room account and different account and fuck off? Shohei Ohtani has reached 160. Dick move. Fuck him. You dick. This is why you don't win fucking pennants, mate. Shohei Ohtani has reached 162 innings pitched this season and is officially the first player to qualify for the league leaderboards as both a hitter and pitcher in the same year. Top comment, Greeno. More history for Ohtani, but sure, 7th all-time in homers for a single season is, quote, the greatest season ever, according to Yankees fans.
100%, man. Oh, it's been fucking sickening. And look, credit to Aaron Judge, like, he had an amazing year and his hitting has been fucking next level.
Yep.
But the amount of dick sucking I've seen this year is ridiculous because
he's a Yankees player. That's why.
He's a Yankees player, right? Like, I've heard literally, I've been a baseball fan for a decade. I've heard this thing East Coast bias, right?
Yeah.
But they're like, oh, anyone who does anything with the Yankees is considered doubly important to anyone else.
Isn't that where all the headquarters? Isn't that where all the headquarters of all the big sports fucking networks are, though? In like New York and shit like that.
No, not at all. Like ESPN's in Greenwich, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's in Connecticut. It's fucking.
There's always a special focus on any New York team, whether it's the Knicks or the Yankees or the Giants. It's always
it's a media created thing, right?
Yeah.
And I never understood until this year when I was like, hang on, the Dodgers won 111 games, which is like the 4th most of all time.
Yep.
And no one talked about it because all they were doing was talking about Aaron Judge. And then I can listen to this podcast every day from ESPN. And I was like, I'm a couple of weeks behind and I'm catching up. And I'm like, they've had interviewed the same 5 people for like 10
about
straight
Aaron
episodes
Judge.
about Aaron Judge. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, there's a whole bunch of other shit that happened in baseball. So I finally got it. So look, Judge is going to win the fucking MVP. And
Rob Dog in the chat. No one in America is talking about the St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh man, don't give me fucking. Let's talk about the St. Louis Cardinals, shall we?
Okay.
They got something beautiful there, and that's a very good point, Rob Dog.
They got something beautiful. His name is Albert Pujols, isn't it?
No, well, Pujols hit over 700 this year, like 700 home runs, amazing. But here's the thing: Paul Goldschmidt is literally one of my favorite fucking players, even though he destroys my team every time he plays against him. He's so good, but no one talks about him. I think he ended up hitting like 324 this year. Was in line for the Triple Crown up until the fact that Schwarber just went nuts with the last like 25 games. But they've got Arenado, they've got 3 starters. They've got Jack Flaherty, who's their ace, coming out of the pen at the moment for the wildcard game. They've got defense, they've got offense, they've got young guys with Yepes. I don't know if Yepes made the roster. Their bullpen, they got Helsley throwing fucking 102. Gallardo, I think, is coming out of pen. There's a lot of good things happening in the Cardinals that no one's talking about because they're talking about Pujols. And Paul, don't get me wrong, Paul deserves every fucking thing. No one's hit 700 except for 3 other players. It's insane. But that team is dangerous. If they get through this wild card, was it Rob Dog?
Rob Dog, yeah. Yep.
Rob Dog. If they get through this wild card, fucking look out for the Cardinals, dude. Like they've got the pitching, they got the pen. That lineup is pretty fucking nasty. It's gonna be hard to beat the Dodgers. Don't get me wrong in the NL, but the top to bottom, Arenado is one of the best players in the league. No one talks about him.
I think we know
he's the best player in the league. No one talks about him.
I think we know what's going to happen. What's going to happen is the Yankees will be the favorite until they get knocked out, and then they would have been robbed.
Astros are the favorite in the well, I think the Dodgers end up being the favorite in the NL. The Astros are the favorite in the AL.
Yeah, but what about the Yankees, Greeno? You're not
I'm not talking about the Yankees. That's the
Yankees.
point. Yeah. I'm gonna death bet the Yankees this entire series. I think
the Yankees are probably going to win it, and if they don't, then it's because everybody hates them and they were robbed. Obviously.
Well, here's the other thing. Like Rob Dog, hear me out here. Thoughts. The fact that the Yankees were so focused on Judge breaking this like fake record because it was an AL record, not an actual MLB record.
Oh, so it's not even that important. Who cares?
No, it's not. But they made it sound like it was important. Now, they batted him in the leadoff. Aaron Judge is not a leadoff hitter. Because he's their best hitter, but no one's ever on base when he gets up to bat. So they just like they walk him or he doesn't drive in runs. So even though they won, they won the division and they got the first round bye. they actually did himself a disservice by once again placating to the fact of we're more worried about one individual's record, which is amazing, it's all good, but it actually was a disservice to the team.
Well, it's New York, it's razzle dazzle. They need they need something to get their idiot supporters into the ground.
Well, they did the same thing with Jeter in his final season. They kept them batting him fucking 2, even though he sucked.
Parading him around.
100%.
The adoring fans.
And once again, I'm going into the wormhole I didn't want to go into talking about Judge. Let's talk about the fucking Seattle Mariners, Damo.
What's happening with the Mariners? That's Crazy Uncle Jerry's team.
Crazy Uncle Jerry's team, they broke the longest streak in American sports history without a postseason appearance when Cal Raleigh is the first player in MLB history to pinch hit, walk off a home run to clinch a playoff spot for his team.
Nice, Gary. So they made the playoffs, but only just.
No. They made it on a walk-off home run. Hasn't been done. So good. Broke a 21-year drought. Our boy Troy is a Seattle Mariners
very
fan.
Happy. Yeah,
he's literally been riding this for 21 years.
He hasn't been this happy. He hasn't been this happy since Randy Johnson strolled out to the mound, Greeno.
Well, that or Unity Day, maybe 2019.
2019 was a big year.
Yeah. That was the Garden of Eden. That's when Troy was
Eden Gahar's Garden of Eden. Yeah,
exactly. So look, I'm pumped.
There was a van involved at some point, I believe.
It's creepy.
Yeah, creepy van.
Yeah. Hashtag something. Now, big raps to the Mariners fans. So pumped to see him finally make that post. And they got the roster to fucking do something here, man. Like, Troy's riding them all the way to the World Series, and I hope he's right. Why
not?
We'll ride it on out. Let's call it a day. I don't know what the last thing is. Fuck it.
Let's wrap it up. Let's get the fuck out of here.
That's it. Is there any plugs? You're doing a show tomorrow?
I am probably going to do one tomorrow, yeah. Tomorrow morning, my time, to Friday night, US time. So we'll see how we go. I think maybe 6-ish, 7-ish, something like that, which means if you're in Sydney, maybe around 9 or 10 a.m., something like that.
Sounds good.
What I've got to do first, though, is check the times of the Bathurst coverage and see what's going on around 9 or 10 and see if, maybe I can only do an hour because I've really got to get in and watch, the 1970s supercars go and do laps. Just a little.
And as you're going to hour, I'll be about 7 hours into baseball coverage, I think.
Nice, Gary. So you'll be up and about. We'll be able to talk. That's good. I'll update you on what's happening at the mountain, and you can tell me what's going on in the baseball. Things will work out fine. There you go. So yeah, that'll be tomorrow or tonight, depending on where you are. So
I like it. Yeah. All right, see you guys next week.
Bye.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious,
if I call you uncouth,
it's simply that.
Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell you the truth?